Hey, good morning to you. Welcome back to the Morning Minute Meditation. So glad you've dropped by today. The Apostle Paul is very clear in his writings about how Christians are to treat one another and how they're to treat people in general. In the book of Romans, chapter number 12, verse 10, he said that we're to be kindly affectioned one to another in brotherly love. And then he makes this statement, in honor, preferring one another. In Philippians 2:4, he said, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. My responsibility is to condescend to you and every other person in mankind, to try to be kind and to express the love of Christ that is in me to the world by the way I treat people. We're to treat people outside the church and inside the church as Christ would. That's a little bit difficult. Number one, we're so busy in our society, we don't have time for people. But it doesn't take much time if you'll learn to engage people. Now, I'm not really a people person. You would think that I was if you met me. Great conversation we can have together. I have a wit and a humor about me that's kind of funny. But the truth is, it's way too people-y out there for me. I'd rather be alone. But as a child of God, fulfilling my responsibilities, I am to express hospitality to those that I encounter on a regular basis. In Ardsley, New York, there's a golf course, one of the oldest in America. It's called St. Andrews. On this golf course, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it's people want to go there, and they want to golf that particular golf course. There were two people that were paired up to golf one day there at St. Andrews. One was an older guy who was a member of the club and had golfed there many times. The second was a young guy, a new guy. And the new guy, had hired a caddy for the day by the name of William. On the first tee, the young man sliced his shot off in the woods, lost his ball, and turned a par 5 hole into 8 strokes, and he was livid. He looked at his caddy by the name of William, and he said, William, your job is to keep your eyes peeled. I'm not here to do your job. Now do your job. And he just gave the boy what for the first 9 holes, and then fired him at the end of the first 9 and carried his own bag as he walked to the back 9. Somewhere on the back 9, the old golfer who had been taking this all in looked at the young golfer and said, I want to tell you a story. He said years ago they hired a caddy here at the club who, ironically enough, had a club foot. He said the young man did not allow the club foot to get in his way. He did a good job, and people loved him here at the golf course. He said there was a particular doctor who is now gone from us. He's deceased, but he loved this young man, and he hired him every time he was here to be his caddy. And he did not let the fact that he had a club foot and that he was a little slower than other caddies, he didn't let that bother him. He said he just loved this kid. He said finally one day he took this kid to the doctor's office, examined him, and performed corrective surgery on this kid and took care of the club foot, and he could walk normally again. And it wasn't long after that the doctor died. He said, a few years later, I was out here on the course with that caddy, and it was springtime, and it was beautiful here, and he was running around collecting flowers. And I said to him, so you got yourself a new girl? He said, no, sir. He said, twice a week, I go to the doctor's grave, and I lay these flowers on his grave. I want to show my appreciation for his kindness to me and his friendship. It was then that the young man, stirred by the story, looked at the old man and he said, now right there's the kind of caddy a man needs to have. Whatever happened to him? The old man said, well, he carried your bag for the first 9 holes. At which the young man realized what a poor excuse of a human being he was that day. You never know who you're encountering. You never know what their life has been. You never know what kind of people they are unless you interact with them. And remember, as a Christian, we're interacting as Christ would. Think on these things today, friend. Have a great day.